So we are back with another SA Coin Dungeon video. This time we are testing our newest festival, the world's first duo, Meli and Liz, right? Looking at their kit, they've got a strong single target, they get a strong AoE. It sounds like they were pretty much made for this kind of dungeon. So we're going to be pulling a whole demon team, pretty much straight out of PvP, right? There's a couple variations of this team, but this is pretty much the way to go in terms of strength. Now, because of that, we're going to have Meli Liz Sword of Darkness online. So you're gonna see that extra tick of damage at the start of the battle. Demi has a very strong AoE because it's weak point attached with some mind control shenanigans. It's gonna increase the damage dealt there. Both his relic and passive are gonna add a stack of Blazing Inferno, which is gonna increase the damage taken for the enemies by 15%, I believe per stack. Then if you have the relic, increases demon allies damage dealt by 5% for each Blazing Inferno. So each one should have two, so that's a, 10% damage buff there, and then a 15% damage taken buff as well. Now, Halloween Esta is pretty much just a raw buffer. His actual skills don't really help too much. He's going to give us a 7% attack boost per applicable ally. So it's going to be 21% to demons. I think Red Chandler's a close second. He is like 15 or 18, but it's like attack related, right? So I think it's a pretty minor difference. Relic doesn't matter too much there. Now, as you can tell by the title of the video, we're not going to be running Donna Liz. And if you're wondering why, not only is it the test if we need her here, you also literally can't, right? Because this duo unit cucks that whole thing with the way their naming works, and it's kind of ridiculous, right? But that's fine, because if you've been doing PvP, you've been running this team, you probably have the latest, best in slot backline, and that is going to be Sigurd. So, Sigurd is going to be buffing your basic stats, 15% for the demons, and then another multiplier on their damage dealt. So, we've got increase in damage dealt stacking from this guy and this guy. We've got a raw attack buff here from this guy. It's a lot of damage to be dealt. The card set that we're running is number 26, 28? 28, 2.5 Annie, which is the demon set. Attack food is obviously the best way to go. Now gears, everyone's obviously going to be on attack, but again, we are putting C's in the middle and the bottom row because the enemy insects and the enemy copper demon, their defenses and HP scale based off of our own, right? So we've got really weak middle and bottom rows, and then we also went ahead and removed the outfits and the cosmetic pieces for all of our units that are on the field, right? So that's going to maximize that. If you really wanted to min-max it, you could also do the same for your links, but I'm not that crazy. So that's going to be the setup. We're going to go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start off with a stat check, right? We want to see what everybody's attack stats are, see what we're working with for our damage. Now, starting off, you're going to see a couple things happen, right? So we have 6 stacks of Blazing Inferno coming from Demi, Relic, and Passive. That's going to increase our damage, well, their damage taken, plus 15% stacks up to 8, right? Then you're going to see this initial damage take coming out from Sword of Darkness from Meli and Liz, because we have the full demon team now. The attack stats for Meli and Liz are 45k, Demi's at 38, and S is at 39. Then the insects have a fine amount of defense and HP, right, because we went ahead and stripped ourselves, and we also have common in the middle and bottom. Now, let's do some testing, right? I guess we can start off and see what the damage from the Demi Inferno AoE will look like, right? So this is basically a weak point that's going to do crazy damage because of these Blazing Inferno stacks. We're at 1.3 mil. Big fan of that. Now, if you don't see a box, obviously you're going to have to reset, right? Because if you want to maximize your coin usage, you can guarantee to get a box by resetting. It'll show up right here in the top left. I'm not going to do it for the sake of time and the video, however. And you shouldn't need the talent for the first phase. We'll go ahead and talent up here, because the Copper Demon's a pretty tanky boy. Let's take a look at what he's got. 23 and 600k HP, right? We'll do our single targets. So we'll do Demi and Liz. I don't think Esta, his damage is just not here for this kind of stuff. He's basically just our buffer, like we mentioned. The spotlight's going to go to these two. So it looks good. That's a 2-card clear on the Copper Demon, so a 3-card clear in total, which is pretty decent, I would say. Obviously it's not the best, because, right, the Eska team that we've done already can 2-card it. So this comes into a close second, especially for not using Donna Liz at all, right? You've got to give that props. So what we'll do here is we will do the Liz and Meli AoE Let's see what this damage looks like. Wow. Okay. So that hit for 2 million. No talent up. Significantly stronger than the Demiurge Inferno AoE. So I guess that's the play for that wave. And then you can buff up again. Use your Demi and your Liz, Meli, whatever, single target. And again, that will 2-tap. Now, I guess the real question is, if you want to optimize this, right, is it better to use the Demi AoE, or is it better to use the Meli Liz AoE? We didn't need to reset. We actually made up for not resetting last run with the gold box. We'll go ahead and do it one more time, because obviously this looks consistent. This doesn't look like it's going to have any issues. You don't have to worry about merges. You don't need any extra cards. This is all from the opening hand. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to do here, right? I kind of want to see. Let's look at what the Asta damage is, just for shits and giggles. 411, great. Yeah, he's not doing much. I mean, he's giving us, what is it, 21% attack, 7 per demon ally on the field, something like that. Silver box, nice. So don't use him for actual attacks, right? He's not really showing up here. Do we try it without the talent? Let's do that. Ooh, let's not let the merge happen though. I want to use basically our starters again. Let's see if we really need the talent. That is about half HP when you consider the opening damage tick from Sword of Darkness. Oh my god, the single target shreds. Now, you do have to use an extra card, which obviously takes a lot more time than going through and clicking the talent and having that animation pop. So definitely using the talent is going to be the preferred way to do that. But that is going to be the demon team. No Donna Liz. 2 turns, 3 cards. Very efficient. Big fan. If you guys like it, drop a thumb. Maybe sub if you're into that, and I'll see you in the next one.